The Great Emu War, when Australia lost to birds. Imagine a war so absurd, so unexpected, that it became one of the strangest chapters in military history. In 1932, Australia waged battle against an enemy unlike any other. Not against foreign invaders or rebels, but against thousands of flightless birds. The Great Emu War remains one of the most bizarre failures ever recorded. A conflict where machine guns met relentless flocks of emus and lost. Today, we dive into this incredible story, a battle of man versus nature, where the victors weren't who you'd expect. Australia in the early 1930s was a land of hardship. The Great Depression had left the economy in tatters, and returning World War I soldiers struggled to find stability. Many turned to farming in the vast lands of Western Australia, hoping to rebuild their lives. But as they planted crops, a new problem arose, one that no one had predicted. Tens of thousands of emus, driven by migration patterns and the search for food, descended upon the farmland. These birds, towering at 6 feet, moved in waves like an unstoppable army, trampling crops and tearing through fences with ease. The farmers, overwhelmed and desperate, saw their livelihood disappearing before their eyes. They pleaded for government intervention, setting the stage for one of the most unusual military operations in history. Determined to put an end to the destruction, the Australian government approved a radical solution. The military was sent in, equipped with heavy artillery, including Lewis machine guns, to deal with the emu infestation. Soldiers confidently took their positions, expecting a quick and decisive victory. On November 2nd, the first shots were fired. Bullets tore through the open fields, dust kicking up in a storm of chaos. But something unexpected happened. The emus didn't scatter in fear. Instead, they moved with uncanny coordination, dodging bullets with remarkable speed. The soldiers, stunned by the birds' unpredictable movements, struggled to hit their targets. It was as if the emus were outmaneuvering trained soldiers, defying every expectation of a simple hunt. What should have been an easy mission was suddenly anything but. As the days stretched on, the military realized their operation wasn't going as planned. The emus had adapted. Reports described how they moved like military squadrons, with a dominant leader at the front guiding the flock. Some soldiers compared their movements to tactical evasive maneuvers, spreading out in smaller groups to reduce casualties. Thousands of rounds of ammunition were fired, but the birds were simply too fast, too unpredictable. In one infamous moment, the soldiers set up an ambush, waiting for the birds to approach. As they opened fire, the machine gun jammed. The emus seized the opportunity and vanished into the horizon, untouched. What had started as a military operation was now an embarrassment. Against all odds, the birds were winning. After weeks of frustration, the government made a decision. The war was over. Australia had been defeated, not by an armed force, but by birds. The troops withdrew, leaving the field still populated by victorious emus. The losses were staggering, not in human casualties, but in sheer failure. Reports estimated that for every 10 bullets fired, only 1 emu was hit, a statistic that highlighted just how futile the effort had been. News spread quickly, turning the Great Emu War into a national joke. Headlines mocked the military, and stories of the emu's resilience became legend. The idea that trained soldiers using modern warfare tactics could lose to a flock of birds was almost too ridiculous to believe. The Great Emu War remains a testament to the unpredictability of nature. It proved that not all battles can be won with brute force, and sometimes adapting is better than fighting. Though the operation was a failure, its legacy lives on, as both a cautionary tale and a reminder of the importance of understanding the natural world. Today, emus continue to roam freely, their victory immortalized in history. The soldiers may have left, but the story remains, echoing through time as one of the most unbelievable defeats in military history. So now I ask you, what do you think went wrong? Was it poor planning, bad strategy, or were the emus simply too formidable? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more unbelievable stories from history, only on Shadowed Narrative.